Johnny.
Okay. Welcome to episode 6 of the Front Porch Show. We have people still arriving, and we have some... Oh, there she is, hiding behind her flowers in the balcony. There we go. Marjorie, how are you? Anyways, welcome to the Front Porch Show. And we always do a shout out of where people are from. Let's hear it if you're from St. Mary's. Let's hear it. Beautiful. Okay, how about some other places? Shout out to where you're from.
All right.
Wonderful, wonderful. Where else? Sarnia, wonderful, great. California.
California, I got over here. California, here I come. Nice.
Okay, anywhere else? Prospect Hill. What's the song for Prospect Hill?
Oh, prospect me one day tonight. Prospect me and I'll prospect you tonight. On Prospect Hill, we'll have a thrill.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, anywhere else? Okay, well, we've actually got quite a few foreign views. We're international. And so here we go. And many of you will remember this from your childhood. Romper, bumper, stomper, boo. Tell me, do. Magic mirror, tell me today. Who are my friends from far away? Well, we have Audrey Wilkins in Kamloops, BC. Kate Farin in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Jada and family from Istanbul. Monica Dominic from Portland, Maine. Susie Hutton from Toronto. Gord Barnett from Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. Christine Blair from London. And Don, we have a special announcement, right?
Yeah. Now, we've become an internet sensation, ladies and gentlemen. We're consistently breaking 4 figures on YouTube here for watches. But last week we confirmed that someone is actually binge watching the Front Porch Show now. They're actually sitting down and watching all episodes on their sofa with their loved ones, eating pizza or whatever it is they do, and indulging in the Front Porch Show. So,
talk about a romantic evening, I can tell you.
Yeah, well, I've spent many a romantic evening with John. Yeah.
Okay, Don, I think it's time for your alternate facts, right?
Alternate facts, ladies and gentlemen.
And John has some valuable prizes here.
Yes. Okay. As I said before, we have a sculptor on the show. I believe he was involved in the creation of these unique sculptors of Homer and Bart. Is that your work, Peter?
I think it is.
I think it might be. But in any case, these are for the winners of alternate facts. And John went through no expense.
You're right, no expense.
No expense, but he did get to the bottom of the all brand today, so if he has to disappear between commercials, you'll know why. So can I have my special guest for alternate facts to join me downstage here? Give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, they were supposed to be up here before the applause ended. That meant the applause had to go longer, actually, but anyways. So, do you know how alternate facts works?
Do not.
Okay. Well, first of all, we need to introduce you. So, would you tell the audience and the world watching what your name is?
My name's Leslie.
Leslie. Nice to meet you, Leslie.
And my name's Michael.
And Michael. Okay, Leslie and Michael, you are the contestants for our big game tonight. And so, alternate facts is I'm going to give you a story.
Okay.
And just like Kelly Conway and the news, it's either going to be true or it's going to be an alternate fact.
Oh.
So it may be completely bogus. It may have 1 or 2 things wrong with it, but you're going to have to determine what it is, either an alternate fact or true, and tell me why you think so.
All right.
So, in Charlotte, North Carolina, a man purchased, this happened in the 90s. Everyone remember the 90s?
No.
Yeah. What was big in the 90s? Cigars were big in the 90s, right? Everybody was smoking cigars back in the 90s.
Winston, careful.
I said nothing about any other use for a cigar. I said smoking. Anyway, and this was in North Carolina, so I think we're good. So a gentleman who's a collector of rare antiquities and collectibles had a box of rare cigars, and they were very expensive, and $15,000 for a box of cigars. Yeah, I mean, that's an expensive hobby for sure. And he, because of this, he put them on his homeowner's insurance so that they were insured against fire. Okay? And they were on the list of items in his insurance policy, and the insurance company accepted it. And then, of course, as time passed, he decided that he would smoke his cigars. And over the period of a few months, he went through them all, and then he called up the insurance company to make a claim for loss by fire, what he called a series of small fires. Well, the insurance company refused to pay. Small wonder, those insurance people, you can't be trusted, absolutely not. And so the man sued in a North Carolina court and won. He won because the judge determined that the policy from the company had warranted that the cigars were insured and guaranteed that the cigars were insured against fire. I guess somebody wasn't paying too close attention to this when it was being written up. And so it was an acceptable loss, and the judge ordered the insurance company to pay up. So rather than appeal, the insurance company decided that they would accept the losses, and they paid the owner of the cigars $15,000 to replace the rare cigars. And after the man cashed his check, they did one more thing. They called the police to report 24 incidents of arson. Which carries with each a 1-year sentence. Ladies and gentlemen, what I need to know from you, is this story true, or is it an alternate fact? Leslie, what do you think?
Alternate fact?
It's an alternate fact, says Leslie. Alternate fact, says Leslie. It sounds real, doesn't it? Well, I do try to make them sound real, even if they aren't. But anyways, Mike, are you going to agree or disagree with Leslie?
Well, I think anything can happen in America. So it's got to be true. It's got to be true.
November proved that for sure. Anything can happen in America.
I just have received an internet report that our signal has been cut in America.
Donald!
Oh, I knew I was going to get censored sooner or later. I thought it'd be in Canada. Anyways, Leslie, do you have any particular reason to doubt this?
It sounded pretty good right up until the last part.
You didn't think the insurance company would
arson thing.
The arson thing? Okay. And anything can happen. So we have one that says
Alternate fact.
and another one that says
Every word is true.
every word is true. So, ladies and gentlemen, obviously we have one winner up here. What does the audience think?
True.
I got 3 alternate facts, and the rest are chiming in true. So, yeah. Well, actually, ladies and gentlemen, this story isn't from the 90s. It's from the 60s, and it's an urban legend. It's completely bogus. I just updated it a little bit just to give it a little more credence. So we have one winner of the Peter Rice sculptures. Way to go! Thank you for participating in Alternate Facts. We'll see you again next week. On with the show.
Okay, now we have Marie with her community calendar.
Somebody's awfully tall in front of me here. I'm going to move this over. There.
That's why you make the big money.
Yes. Thank you, Don.
My salary hasn't been increased yet.
All right, everyone. Welcome to this week's St. Mary's Community Calendar. Don't forget to check out the Farmers Market on Saturday, August 12th from 8 a.m. to noon. That happens every Saturday until October. And have you seen the Shakespeare Theater posters at the St. Mary's Station Gallery? They're on display now until September 2nd. One day, 10 hours, so much music, so much love, so much life. Join the River Rock family on Saturday, August 12th. Gates open at 11:30 in the morning, open mic at noon, the Vaudevillian at 1:15, My Father's Son at 2:30, broomsticks and hammers at 3:45, a fellowship at 5, the Marrieds at 6:15, Dan Stacy and the Black Swans at 7:30, and Ron Sexsmith at 8:45. Lots of vendors, lots of fun. Don't miss it. Registration for new minor hockey players, and they're looking for girls this year, will take place from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the lobby of the Pyramid Rec Center on Saturday, August 12th. More information is available on the SMMHA website. If you have any events you would like to have announced on the Front Porch Show, please send a personal message to the Front Porch Show Facebook page. Next Sunday, August 13th, the Front Porch Show will have a guest host, Leanne Gregory Sterrett, with guests Marlene Foreman and musical guests Caroline Burchill and Tom Augersby. Bring your lawn chairs early. The pre-show warm-up starts at 6:45 p.m. or watch it on Facebook Live at 7 or YouTube later in the evening. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Marie. Great. Well, we have our first guest here, and it's Peter Allan Rice, and he's a retired elementary teacher who is devoting a lot of his time producing his unique art. His work is shown in 5 galleries in Ontario and is in private collections, including ours, across North America and Europe. He has recently been selected to be part of the Autumn Art Sale fundraiser this October, which is being held at the McMichael Gallery in Kleinburg. He's here to talk about his work. Peter Allan Rice. Hold it. Stop. Peter, didn't anybody talk to you about the proper attire for this Front Porch Show?
These are my favorite socks, John.
They're different.
Bacon and egg socks. And the good thing about bacon and egg socks is you get a second pair.
Now, somebody told me that you have a pretty interesting sock collection. Can you give me some ideas about what kind of socks you have? How many pairs of interesting socks do you have?
Close to 30, I believe. John and I play badminton and tennis, and I always try to show up with some interesting socks on. So I have brought some here.
Okay, well, let's have a look.
If I could have the sock models come up.
We can maybe go to them. We'll take the socks to them. Remember in the 60s, what was it?
Yeah.
Sock it to me?
Now, I'm not sure whether these have been washed or not.
Maybe smell them.
Smelling good.
Okay.
Smells like bacon.
It smells like bacon, yeah.
Okay, the bacon and egg, pull them up high.
Okay,
There we go.
What else have we got? We've got taco socks. We have got fox socks.
And what does the fox say? Nobody got that. Okay.
We have hamburger and french fry socks.
Wow.
Oh, I gotta save this for the end. One of my favorites, and somebody, you have a long arm, these are ostrich socks. Charlotte likes that. So on one side is the back of the ostrich, on the other side, the face. Beautiful. For Perth County, we have dairy socks, or they could be Dalmatians. We have tennis socks, fairly dull.
Fairly dull, sort of like your tennis game, I think.
Come on, Mr. Tennis. Okay, we should have 2 arms left.
2 left arms or 2 arms left?
Hashtag socks. And the best one, Sheldon on, what's the show called? Big Bang Theory. I'll love these. Bazinga socks. And they have a little cape on the back. I often fall flat on my face during a tennis match. So Bazinga with the, there we go.
What's this thing? Oh, the cape. Oh,
Yeah, he's in the superhero.
so that's it.
That's it.
Okay, very good.
And I would take my tooth out. I would like those socks back, please. I've got another.
Well, there's a few places in town where you can get socks like this. So where?
Well, they were advertised last week from Sunrays.
Sunrays.
And also Lyric, yeah, and Lauren Whitney.
Okay, well, let's talk about your art, and we'll go up to the table.
Places to get them, then we can just take these. Who wants to be the sock ring?
Okay. Thank you. Let's hear it for our models.
Nicely done. John, I want to talk a little bit about your badminton.
You would like to talk? No, we'd like.
Yeah, before we get in.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, John looks like a mild, like he's always interviewing us, and we never get a chance to find out about John. He's very mild-mannered, except when he gets on the tennis or badminton court.
Uh-oh.
And he gets a little frustrated sometimes when he hits it into the net or makes a shot that he thinks he should make. And out on the third court down, you may hear a blood-curdling scream.
And what do I say, Andrea?
John! So these screams of John are all over DCVI's gym. And what was really funny about it is the rest of us started saying John when we missed the shot. And then John, a couple of years ago, as some of you may know, went to Saudi Arabia and also Turkey to teach. And here he was across the ocean, and we were playing badminton, and everybody in the gym is going, John! So I think we should have the audience try that. What would make them really frustrated? Maybe if it started raining.
No.
So I'm going to go like this, give the rain sign. When I point, everybody go, John, in a really frustrated tone. Ready?
John!
How about...
John!
Perfect. How about the women this time? Only the women.
John!
And the men. And Don Van Galen.
John!
And Frank.
John!
Excellent.
Enough.
Yeah. So your name is associated with futility.
The worry I have is that some night one of the female tennis players may go, the badminton players may go home and have a dream about the badminton. All of a sudden, in the middle of the night, she'll shout, John! But no, it hasn't happened. So there we go. Peter, first of all, let's get serious now. Peter Allan Rice. I know he was President Pete or Peter.
Right.
Where does the Allan come from with an A?
Well, when I was a young boy, and other people in the crowd here might be able to relate to this, every time I heard my middle name, I was in trouble, right? Peter Allan Rice. Have you been drawing on the walls again? Or Peter Allan Rice. Have you taken the last cookie? So it was always sort of a negative thing, and I decided to turn it into more of a positive. I like the sound better when you say the art of Peter Rice or the art of Peter Allan Rice. Doesn't that sound a little classier?
Then you can, from now on, you can call me John Victor Stevens. I need a bit more classic.
No. Wait for the signal, and we're going to say John Victor.
You guys are terrible.
John Victor!
Okay.
But seriously,
Yes, but seriously,
Yeah.
do you know anybody that does anything like you do? I'm talking about the other.
oh, okay. I thought you meant my backhand in badminton. I know people that do metal, windswept pines on rock and so forth, but I don't know anybody that combines the glass with the stone. So pretty exciting to be doing something completely unique.
And you have 3 examples. Tell me about the 3 examples you have.
And
Oh,
4.
4. Sorry, yes.
Yeah. The one in the middle is one I did for you, and it was hilarious when we were setting up today. Marie came out and looked at it, and she says, "Wow, do I ever like that?" And you've owned it for about 3 years. But the neat thing is I sold it back to her.
Probably for more than we paid for.
Yeah, you got it for a steal, but now I've doubled my money, so that's fabulous.
Okay. What's this one on the left?
This is called the Spirit Tree. I'm trying to get a lot of indigenous themes into my work. You can see that it's all transparent. The birch bark canoe is transparent, and it's on a piece of glass from Bali, Indonesia.
Wow.
I canoed over there to pick it up. Do you believe that?
Alternate fact.
Okay, alternate fact, yeah.
And the one on the right.
This one is yet unnamed, but the very popular red canoe with a couple of paddles and windswept pine, and that rock is from Temagami. And we didn't mention about yours. Yours is called Emergence. It was sort of based on your time in Turkey. You can see there's the crescent moon, which is on the Turkish flag. The stone is actually from the Black Sea, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And that's an olive tree. And there are exactly 365 leaves on there.
And how long did it take you to make the 365 leaves?
For the money I got for it, no, it took a long time.
Okay. How long did it take to an average piece? How long does it take you to finish?
For a small one, it could be about 30 hours, right up to over 300 hours for larger pieces.
Mm-hmm. And what have you done? Where is your art marketed?
5 galleries, as we mentioned. Auburn Gallery in Gravenhurst, Perryville Gallery on Manitoulin, Temagami, Gallery 212 in Temagami,
Mm-hmm.
and Algonquin Art Center, very prestigious gallery there,
Mm-hmm.
and the Cornerstone Gallery in Kingston,
Okay.
right down in the historic district there.
Now you're always at the One of a Kind show in Toronto, and you have an
Mhm.
interesting story from last year's. What's that?
Oh, the one where I think it was 2 years ago, a lady approached me and said, I buy work for the Prime Minister's office, and would you be interested? And I said, certainly, I'd love to get one of those selfies with Justin. But the way the government works, she had a hard time getting in. It was just his first year in office. She's since approached me about gifts for the Governor General's office, where visiting dignitaries from Saudi Arabia or wherever would be bringing one of my pieces home with them. But again, government works very slowly. She keeps phoning me, but nothing really happens.
That'll be great. A bit of St. Mary's going internationally.
Yeah,
That's
that'd
wonderful.
be fabulous.
Much of your work reminds me of the Group of Seven. What is your influence on them? Is there one artist that influences you more than the others?
Yeah, a lot of people say that your work looks like Group of Seven in glass, and I certainly, accept that compliment whenever I can get it. I hear that often. I would say Lauren Harris, his later paintings, maybe with the sweeping lines and so forth, his work looks very like it could be done in glass. I did a piece a few years ago called The Painter, and I actually did Lauren Harris's silhouette in that piece, and that was very popular.
So you're going to be part of this McMichael Gallery fundraising
Mhm.
scheme. How did you get to be a part of that?
Really cool story with that one. We were coming into the One of a Kind with other vendors and artists early in the morning before the regular crowd arrives. And in front of me there was this guy. He must have been about 6'5". He had hair down to his waist. And you couldn't help but notice, but he had a great big price tag hanging off the back of his blue jeans. So I don't know what you would do, but I went up to him and said, "Excuse me, you've got a price tag on the back of your blue jeans." We all had a big laugh about it, and we exchanged booth numbers. We visited back and forth. He ended up being the famous indigenous painter J. Bell Redbird. And so we discussed indigenous issues. He came over and saw my Lord Downey piece called Courage, was very struck by that. And he was in the McMichael show previously. So he came to me and a couple of days later and said, "You should go to the McMichael show." So I owe it all to a price tag hanging off the back of his butt on a pair of jeans. So it's amazing how those things happen.
And there's quite a few people who compete to be in the show, correct?
Yeah, there were over 170 applicants. We had to submit 5 images, and the jury scored them certain points for each piece. And they only accepted 4 sculptors, so the odds were tough there. But out of 170, over 170, they selected 39 new artists. The sculpture that sold the best came back, and 10 of the best-selling painters came back. So there's a total of 50 artists there, with 39 being new. So I'm hoping to be the best-selling sculptor next year, and hopefully I'll come back.
That's great. So when is the show?
It's October 20th, 21st, and 22nd.
Yeah, and I know there's been some talk in town for everybody out there, of perhaps getting a bus together. I've always wanted to see Kleinberg and the group of 7, because you get to see not just the show, but the group of 7. Am I correct?
Yeah, there's 6,400 works of art. They're not all group of 7. There's a lot of indigenous, Métis, Inuit, group of 7 contemporaries, but it's known as the group of 7 gallery. And that's why I'm thrilled, just to be showing under the same roof as the group of 7.
So I'm going to see what we can do to get a bus together. If people are interested, it's a one-day trip. You go up there, have a good time, see the art, come back, and you don't have to worry about the driving. Do you have any plan to show your work in St. Mary's?
Well, actually, I'm in 3 private collections already, you being one of them. I've got 2 commissions on the go right now. I have shown right here on this porch, what was it, 2 years ago?
Many years ago.
At Doors Open. Yeah, so I appreciate that. Believe it or not, I've shown my work in the Bank of Montreal. My strategy there was go where the money is. They'll be getting their money out. They'll see the art.
And what was your strategy when you came up here?
I was just trying to get a free donut or something, but nothing happened. Also, forget the National Gallery, forget McMichael. I'm in the Town and Country Cheese Shop in Delhi right now.
Very good.
Like, where else can you see art? Pick up some salami, a bucket of the best potato salad, and maybe some camembert, right there. So, but seriously, Laurie Black is looking for artists to display their work up along the upper wall, and I just put a piece in there, and you can see it as you're cashing out.
Now, if somebody wants to get a piece, have something custom done by you, how do they go about doing that?
They'll have to be expecting it after Christmas, first of all, but just contact me and let me know what you're interested in. I'm really interested in the personal stories that people have, like this one, the Spirit Tree with indigenous issues, and of course your Turkish experience as well. Sometimes people bring me their own rocks from their cottage, or a rock that has special meaning to them.
And this piece up here is for sale, correct?
That's for sale, yes. If anybody wants to approach me afterwards, we have 10% off for the front porch show. Excellent.
Hey, Don, I'm going to increase your salary by 10% as well.
If it sells.
Buy it now. Okay, well, let's hear for Peter Allan Rice. Thank you. We're now going to go. Here we go.
Wait, I've got something for you here.
We have something here.
Yeah. I really appreciate the creativity that you put into this show, and I've got a little gift for you.
Okay. Paper.
Yes, tissue.
Oh, a pair of socks.
And that comes from Sunrays here in St.
look.
Mary.
Look at this, but it leads into our commercial because it's got coffee beans on it. And our first commercial is Snapping Turtle Coffee.
And I got those. I got those especially because Corduroy Gordon was here and Snapping Turtle. And I would like to present Emily with something as well.
Right now?
Right now. Here is a picture of your Cadzo coffee on Lake Temagami. My wife Annette said that you wanted that, so we took a picture of the Cadzo marble, is it?
Yes.
And on the island in Temagami, and there it is. We could start a trend. People could start taking pictures of their coffee wherever it ends up in the world.
That's
Ooh, I like
wonderful.
that.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
John, I want to see those socks on before the end of the show.
Hi, I'm Emily of Snapping Turtle Coffee Roasters. My husband Kevin and I started the business just a couple of months ago, and we are a specialty coffee roaster located at 145 Queen Street East in beautiful downtown St. Mary's. Come into our store and you'll find on our shelves freshly roasted specialty whole bean coffee, roasted a few different ways, and you'll also find some other coffee-related items and gifts. We source all of our green coffee responsibly through a company called De La Gente, and it's a direct trade relationship with coffee farmers in Guatemala. The beans that we're currently roasting come from a cooperative that's made up of about 30 farmers just outside of Antigua, Guatemala. And each farmer only has about 3 or 4 acres, so we know that when we're buying and roasting coffee, that we're helping to support families and small communities directly. Although we're not a cafe, we do brew one of our roasts or blends each day, so you can always come in for a freshly brewed cup of hot coffee to go, and also choose from a selection of treats baked by local baker Breadtopia. Or if you're in the mood for a cool summer beverage, we serve nitro cold brew on tap, and I definitely recommend giving that a try. We're also excited this month to be adding coffee cherry tea to our menu. So it tastes nothing like coffee, but it is a steeped fruit tea made from the cherries of the coffee plant. So we're really excited about that. And as a special thank you tonight for all of those who came tonight, please feel free to see me afterwards, and I would love to provide you with a coupon for $1 off your next bag of Snapping Turtle beans. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the Front Porch Show.
Beautiful job. And as I say, Snapping Turtle Coffee as served at the Riverside B&B. And I can honestly say that our guests here, without any prompting, ask me where I get my coffee. And I'm so proud to say that it's from St. Mary's, Ontario. That's great. Okay, well, our next guest, I've known her for many years, Cathy Atwell. And Cathy has arrived in St. Mary's 13 years ago with a banking career that continued for 5 more years here. 6 or 7 years ago, as she puts it, she just fell into the art scene here and has been a positive force for its emergence in St. Mary's. Cathy Atwell, thank you. Welcome. A bit lower, there we go. Maybe move a bit closer. There we go. So how did you become involved in the Stonetown Arts Group?
Well, it's kind of a funny story there too, because I think it was in 2012, Nancy Harper was at the mast of what was then called the Art Salon Group of St. Mary's. And I ran into her on the street one day, and she was so excited because she had just secured a venue for the very first art show and sale in November. And she excitedly told me that they were charging a registration fee and it was going to be 20% commission, and she was standing there with a little baggie with about $118 in it. It was all the cash that they had at the time. And my thought was, and which one of your artists is going to take care of the cash? So I thought, well, that's something I can easily do. So I volunteered to do the cash for that one show. One show. In 2012.
Yes. And you know that, yeah, we all know the rest of the story. Yes. If you volunteer for anything in a small town, you can't just do it once.
No, that's true. And they were such a great bunch of people that it just, was an easy thing to do.
So, do you produce any art yourself? Have they gotten you hooked on that?
No, I am not an artist in that sense of the word, but I do have a creative side to me, and I also bring a lot of organizational and management time skills to the group, which goes a long way in producing the shows.
That way the artist can concentrate on the art
Yes,
and not have to worry about all the other stuff.
Exactly.
It's sort of like the front porch show. I've got a great crew here, and it's nice to know that they can do all the other stuff that I don't have to worry about. Who are the others that help with the group?
Well, Stonetown Arts has a board of 7 people, and there's comprised of 5 artists and 2 non-artists, and we are basically the core that sort of spreads things out.
Now, can you give some names?
Of the board?
Yeah.
Well, Chantel Marshall and I are co-chairs of Stonetown Arts. We also have Anna Coote, Cathy Monteith, Krista Beckett, Kathy Blake, and Joey Seresny.
Wonderful. And how long has the Stonetown Arts group been going?
Well, originally the Stonetown Arts grew out of the Art Salon group of St. Mary's, and Darlene Morris founded that in 2010, or close to that, and so it was known as the Art Salon group of St. Mary's for about 3 years, and then Darlene sort of handed the group over to the board of directors, and we decided as a board that we would think about a name change, so we became the Stonetown Arts to give it a more local name to the town rather than the sort of European-based name of the art salon.
And if I'm an artist and I'm new to town, how do I get hooked up with the arts, with the Stonetown Arts?
Well, probably the best way of getting hooked up with us is to go on our Facebook page, and we post there when our monthly meetings are and what's happening as far as the group is concerned. And of course, anybody can message for additional details, and it's probably myself that would get back to them.
Now, is there any criteria for membership in the group?
No.
I could join.
You could join if you wish.
No. My art is not that good.
But we have a membership between 45 and 50 people.
Really?
And I would say that about maybe 2/3, 3/4 of the group are artists at some various level, and the rest of us are non-artists. And it's anyone who enjoys the arts, enjoys being involved, is looking to promote or support the arts and artists in town.
And is there any cost involved?
We have an annual membership fee of $25.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it's pretty expensive.
That's cheaper than badminton, Peter.
Sorry.
But the thing is that we, if someone is interested, we're more than welcome to have them join us for a meeting or 2 or 3 before they decide whether or not they actually want to become a member.
Yeah. And what kind of things does the group do to promote art in St. Mary?
Well, the main thing that we do is our annual November art show and sale. And it has grown considerably from 2012 to 2016. That is our main focus and main way of promoting the arts. But we also have a permanent art exhibit down at Baristas that has changed every 6 months. We have news releases and news articles in both the Journal Argus and the St. Mary's Independent newspapers. And for the first time this summer, we've just finished a summer art show and sale at the St. Mary's Station Gallery.
And I heard that was terrific.
It was. It was very well received, and we're very pleased with it.
I'm sure you are. The Christmas show you put on is one of my favorite events in St. Mary's, and I've enjoyed it every time I've gone. And my wife usually gets something. It's our Christmas gift to each other. When is it going to be this year?
Well, we usually have it the last 2 weekends of November, or the last week of November, first weekend of December, those 2 weekends. Hopefully, we're rather a nomadic kind of group, because we start planning the show at the end of August, beginning of September, without knowing where we're going to be. So hopefully by the end of September we have a venue, And so that's, we're planning it, but we don't know where it's going to be this year yet.
Oh, wow.
So if anyone has an empty storefront out there or knows of someone with an empty storefront, hopefully on Queen Street, just please let us know, because that would be wonderful.
Yeah, because it's certainly one activity in St. Mary's that is worthwhile, because the artistic presence in the community has, since I've been here, has been raised significantly by people like you.
Well, even in the last 4 years, I mean, the level of expertise and just the quality level has increased considerably over these last 4 shows in particular. And we generally have 24 artists, all local artists from St. Mary's or the surrounding rural area. So 24 artists registered for the show. And there's such a wide range of representation in media. Oil and caustic.
And there's something that everybody will like. Yeah, you might like this, but you might not like that. But there's something that everybody's going to like, and I know that's what I like about the show that you put on every year at Christmas time. Okay, well, thank you very much, Cathy, for talking about that. And let's hear it for Cathy. We're now going to do our next commercial, and we have Ron Grant from Pathway Woodworking. Ron, come to the microphone.
Hi, we're Pathway Woodworking. Sometimes in our spare time, we make 10-grain cutting boards. Sometimes in our spare time, we make custom-made canoe paddles out of, like these two, out of butternut and purple heartwood. But you might be interested to know what we do a lot of is sell and install Murphy Beds of Canada wall beds. You know, the handy little beds that fold down from a wall. They come with a lifetime guarantee on their hardware. We make them in every configuration, everything from singles, doubles, queens, kings. They come as a tilt out from the end. Some of them, they come as a tilt out from the side, so they'll fit into a narrower space. We build beds with desks attached to them, sewing tables, wardrobes, so that people can convert an office or a sewing room or any room into a room that'll convert into a guest room when they have kids or company come. 2 of our beds have been featured on TV shows. One was on Leave It to Brian, and the other one was on Divine Design. So please, if you're interested at all, I'd like you to look up pathwaywoodworking.com online and see all the different things we do. Thank you.
Grab this for 2 seconds. Okay, thank you very much. If you're from St. Mary's, these 3 are familiar faces here. Corduroy Gordon has been a popular band in St. Mary's for a few years now, and they've been popping up in various venues and festivals in the area. Tonight on the front porch, all 3 of the band members. There's a 4th one who couldn't make it. Kevin and Emmy Legacy?
Legace.
Whatever.
Legacy, whatever.
I say it the French way. And Chet Greason. Okay, I can say that one anyways. Okay, here they are doing their version of Fire and the Flood.
Saw your light on honey in the cold. I stood anywhere I go, there you are. Anywhere I go, there you are. I've been getting used to waking up with you. I've been getting used to waking up here. Anywhere I go, there you are. Anywhere I go, there you are. There you are. There you are. You're the fire and the blood, and I'll to feel you. Anywhere I go, there you are. Anywhere I go, there you are. Late at night when you can't fall asleep, I'll be lying right beside your counter sheet. Anywhere I go, there you are. Anywhere I go, there you are. There you are. There you are. You're the fire and the flood, and I'll always feel you in my blood. Everything is fine when your hands resting next to mine, next to mine. You're the fire and the flood. Now listen here, she said, boy, when you know, you'll know, and I know. You're the fire and the flood, and I'll always feel you in my blood. Everything is fine when your hands resting next to mine, next to mine. You're the fire and the flood. You're the fire and the flood, and I'll always feel you in my blood. Everything is fine when your hands resting next to mine, next to mine. You're the fire and the flood.
It doesn't get much better than that. That's great. Fantastic. Okay, Corduroy Gordon. There's got to be a story behind that.
The story changes.
Well, see, my middle name is Gordon,
Okay.
so
And Kevin's favorite book is Corduroy the Bear.
Okay, so there we go. Now, Kevin and Emily are married. How did you get in the group?
I'm the crazy neighbor who comes by and eats dinner.
Okay, come on in, Kevin. Okay. So when did the band start, actually?
About 2 years ago, I guess, is when we started really playing seriously. Yeah, about 2 years ago.
Yeah, and I heard there's a Baptist church in town that sort of has a bit of hot music. Am I correct?
Once in a while.
Once in a while. Okay, when was your first paid concert then?
It was, well, I guess the band really started more than 2 years ago, because 2 years ago was our first paid concert, right?
And
at the golf course, yeah, the golf course.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, and I heard it was really great and good turnout. Your name pops up a lot, though. You're doing a lot of stuff around town and in the area. How many concerts do you think you've done so far this year?
Oh my goodness, I haven't counted them up, but we have been really busy. I think through June and most of July, we were booked pretty well every weekend, sometimes 2 or 3 a weekend. We have a little bit of a break here in August. We're here tonight, but then we're not again until Wednesday, August 30th at Melodies at the Museum, so make sure you're there for that.
Yeah, that's one of the great events, yes, Melodies at the Museum. I know that you wanted to be on the show a long time, but, just like, we're busy, and of course you're running your coffee shop as well. First, Chet, you got a thing. I don't know what it is, but can you describe that a bit and tell us about it?
Hang on 1 sec. So this is Gordon. This is kind of our mascot, Gordon the Ugly Stick from the island of Newfoundland. If anyone wants one, the lady who made it is actually here tonight, sitting over there, my mom, Judy Greason. basically, her and Dad went to Newfoundland and went to a kitchen party and saw one of these. And Mom came home and says, "I'm going to make one of those for Chet." And so this is a limb out of a tree.
That's not the voice you use, though.
Sorry?
That's not your usual mom voice.
Yeah, use the voice, use the voice.
I'm going to make one of those for Chet. She's a very positive lady. So she took this limb out of a tree in the backyard and screwed a bunch of beer caps to it, and a boot on the bottom and a bucket on the top, and the hat came later, and yeah, he's turned into a real kind of mascot for the band.
It's certainly a conversation piece. How do you decide the music you play? Because it varies a lot.
That's a great question. When we first started trying to figure out if we could be a band together, we were trying to find some common ground. So when we found some common ground, that's kind of how we started, and we built from there. But now sort of what happens is we'll be either jamming, or we'll be at a gig, and we'll be messing around and playing some chords, or somebody will request something ridiculous, and we'll just make something up on the spot and then go, "Hey, that'll work really well, let's do that," and then we'll take it away and work on it.
Yeah. That or wedding requests.
Yeah, wedding, that's another one, yeah. Fire in the Flood was a wedding request.
We kind of rocked that. We should just put that into the rotation.
Do you write any of your own music, or do you just do covers?
We do write our own music. We're working on some of that. We're not doing any originals tonight, but we are working on that. And we have a plan kind of this winter. We're hoping to, rather than accept gigs, we're hoping to spend some time and cut an album.
Oh, fantastic. Is this when it comes out? Everybody in town will definitely buy one. A great band, a lot of fun, great for karaoke parties at the funeral home as well.
See, now we've announced it, we have to do it.
So, I'm going to play two more songs. One is called Flowers in Your Hair, and the other one's called The Night Pat Murphy Died.
Which one are we doing first?
I thought we were going to do Flowers in Your Hair.
Okay, let's do that.
You'll have to put the... Oh, no, you got it. It's just that now he's got to put the ugly stick down and pick up his ukulele again.
It's heavy.
More work for Chet.
When we were younger, we thought everyone was on our side. Then we grew a little and romanticized the time I saw flowers in your hair. It takes a boy to live, but it takes a man to pretend he was there. So then we grew a little and learned a lot, and now we demonstrated it to the cops and all the things we said. We were self-assured. Well, it's a long road to wisdom, but it's a short one to being ignored. So be in my eyes, be in my heart, be in my eyes, ay, 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 be in my heart. So now I think that I could love you back, and I hope it's not too late, 'cause you're so attractive in the way you move. I won't close my eyes, 'cause it takes a man to live, but it takes a woman to make a compromise. So be in my eyes, be in my heart, be in my eyes, ay, 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 be in my heart. So now I think that I could love you back, and I hope it's not too late, 'cause you're so attractive in the way you move. I won't close my eyes. It takes a man to live, but it takes a woman to make a compromise. So be in my eyes, be in my heart, be in my eyes, ay, 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 be in my heart.
You have a thing for me.
For you. No, not for you.
Oh, for you.
For you.
He's got a thing.
Oh, you have a thing for you.
Although
Good for you.
I'm open to any suggestions. It's a nice beard.
Thanks.
All right, Kevin's gonna bust out his melodica now,
Yeah, we got all kinds of weird instruments.
which is an instrument that he actually invented. No, that's another lie.
Kevin's one of those guys who like finds an instrument. He's like, "What's this? Oh, I can play it like an expert." Ooh, what is that? So he like finds random instruments and just immediately
And that's why we love him.
incorporates it into the band.
So here's your note, buddy.
Nice. Oh, the night that Patty Murphy died is a night I'll never forget. Thank you, Kevin. Some of the boys got loaded, drunk, and ain't been sober yet. Leave me hanging, buddy. As long as the bottle was passed around, every man was feeling gay. Nice. Oh, Leary came with the bagpipes and music for to play. That's how they showed their respect for Patty Murphy. That's how they showed their honor and their pride. They said it was a sin and shame that we got one another. And every drink in the place was full the night Pat Murphy died. Mrs. Murphy sat in the corner pouring out her grief. Kelly and his gang came tearing down the street. They went through an empty room with a bottle of whiskey stole. Put the bottle with the corpse to keep that whiskey cold. That's how they showed their respect for Patty Murphy. That's how they showed their honor and their pride. They said it was a sin and shame that we had one another. And every drink in the place was full the night Pat Murphy died. 3 o'clock in the morning after emptying the jug, boy lifts up the icebox and a seat for Patty's mug. We stopped the clock so Mrs. Murphy couldn't tell the time. At a quarter after 2 we argued it was 9. That's how they showed their respect for Patty Murphy. That's how they showed their honor and their pride. They said it was a sin and shame to wink at one another. And every drink in the place was full the night Pat Murphy died. Go! Well, we stopped the hearse on Grove Street outside some dance saloon. All intended 8:30, staying out at noon. Went up to the graveyard so holy and sublime. Found out when they got there, they'd left the cross behind. That's how they showed their respect for Patty Murphy. That's how they showed their honor and their pride. They said it was a sin and shame and we had one another. And every drink in the place was full the night Pat Murphy died. Oh, the night that Patty Murphy died is a night I'll never forget. Some of the boys got loaded, drunk, and ain't been sober yet. As long as the bottle was passed around, every man was feeling gay. Oh, Leary came with the bagpipes and music for to play. That's how they showed their respect for Patty Murphy. That's how they showed their honor and their pride. They said it was a sin and shame that we had one another. And every drink in the place was full the night Pat Murphy died. And every drink in the place was full the night Pat Murphy died.
Thank you, William.
Thank you, everybody. That's our show for this week. If Frank wants to come up, we have a sort of a thing we do every week with Frank. Where are you? Here he comes. He's written a song that we just all love, and it's called Home St. Mary's, and we sort of close the show with that every week. But thank you, Corduroy Gordon, for coming up. Great job. Fantastic. And don't forget, bring your friends out next week. We're here. Leanne Gregory Sterr is going to be our guest host, and we have 2 more shows after that. We're going to tell you that the show is going to be longer on the last show, and we're going to probably have to start it earlier because it's getting darker. But we're going to have a very, very special show at the very end. You have something to say, Don? No?
No, I'm just
okay.
enjoying
Go
it
ahead.
here.
Take it away, Frank.
Get up and dance with the music, and you get free admission to next week's Front Porch show. Okay?
night.
I was born in Ontario, place to stand, a place to grow. From Pickle Lake to Point Pelee, there's no place I'd rather be than my hometown they call Stonetown, the prettiest town for miles around. Little falls laugh and people share smiles, treat you like family. Home, St. Mary's, St. Mary's home to me. Home, St. Mary's, St. Mary's home to me. Can't count the times I've been amazed. I've been blessed how God is great. How I was led to this special place is quite a mystery, where anyone can be your friend. Farmers' fields, they never end. Through it all flows the mighty Thames. What a sight to see. Home, St. Mary, St. Mary's home to me. Home, St. Mary, St. Mary's home to me. Home, St. Mary's, St. Mary's home to me. Home, St. Mary, St. Mary's home to me. Behind me many miles on old highways, on dusted trails. When times got rough, when all else failed, I knew where I should be. Back to my hometown they call Stonetown, prettiest town for miles around, where little falls laugh and people share smiles, living in harmony.
Want to try it with me?
Home, St. Mary's, St. Mary's home to me. Home, St. Mary's, St. Mary's home to me. Little louder. Home, St. Mary's, St. Mary's home to me. Home, St. Mary's, St. Mary's home to me. Clap along. Home, St. Mary's, St. Mary's home to me. Home, St. Mary's, St. Mary's home to me.
Bring the house down.
Home, St. Mary's, St. Mary's home to me. 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 It's my home, St. Mary, St. Mary's home to me. It's my home, St. Mary, St. Mary's home to me.
God bless
bless you. Thanks for coming to the Front Porch Show. On sweet home.